Hello, welcome to another GMAT question explained. Today we're going to look at this applied question. So the question goes, a dance troupe has a total of 50 dancers split into two groups. The costume worn by group A costs $80 each, and those worn by group B cost $90 each. If the total cost of all the costume is $4,270, what is the total cost of the costumes worn by group B? So, as always, we want to write down what the question is telling us. So the total number of dancers, so I want to put total dancers is 50, and they are split into two groups. So we're going to have group A and group B. Now the costume worn by group A costs $8 each, so I'm going to put cost per costume is 80 for A, and those worn by group B cost 90, so cost per costume of B equals 90. And finally, the final information given is total cost of all the costume is 4270. So total cost equals 4270. And the question is asking you, what is the total cost of the costumes worn by group B? So total cost of B equals question mark. Now let's break this down. What does total cost actually mean? Total cost is essentially the quantity times by the cost per unit. Now to make life a bit easier from here on out, I'm gonna label the quantity of A as just the letter A for notation's sake, and the quantity of B as just the letter B. So that means this quantity here is now just B times the cost per unit, which is the cost per costume, which is going to be 90. So essentially the question is just asking us to find what is the quantity of B. So to do this, we are going to look at the information we've been given and try to break it down into equations to help us solve this question. So let's start with the first piece of information that we have. Total number of dancers is 50. So total dancers equals 50. What does this mean in terms of an equation? This just means that the total quantity of dancers in group A plus the total quantity of dancers in group B equals 50. In other words, A plus B equals 50. Now the other piece of information we're given is total cost is 4270. So total cost equals 4270. Similarly, total quantity is 50, which means A plus B equals 50. Total cost is 4270. That just means the total cost, so I'm going to put TC, of group A plus the total cost of B is 4270. We're now going to break this down slightly a bit more. So total cost of B, we already kind of had a look at up here. Total cost of B is just B times 90. So I'm going to replace total cost of B as 90 times B. And we can do the same thing for total cost of A. Total cost of A is just going to be the quantity of A times by the cost of A, which is going to be 80 times by the quantity A. Again, this equals 4270. So now what we have here is two equations, here and here, that has two variables in them. In other words, we are solving a pair of simultaneous equations. Now to do this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to substitute this equation into this equation. Again, I am looking for the letter B, so I'm finding out what B is. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I am going to rewrite this equation in terms of A. So A equals 50 minus B. That way I can put this into here, replacing A and leaving me with just B to solve. So putting A equals 50 minus B into this equation gives us 80 times A, which is 50 minus B, plus 90B equals 4270. Expanding out the brackets, 80 times 50 gives us 4000, minus 80 times B, which is 80B, plus 90B equals 4270. Now, we're going to solve this equation. So I'm going to take 4,000 from both sides. 4,000 minus 4,000 is just 0, so I'm left with minus 80b plus 90b. 4,270 minus 4,000 gives me 270. Minus 80 plus 90b gives me just 10b equals 270. Divide both sides by 10 gives me b equals 27. So we have now found b. All we need to do to find total cost of b is just take b times by 90. So total cost of b equals b times 90, which means 27 times 90, which gives me 2430. If we go back up here, we see E is 24030, therefore the answer is E. So that is the answer. The process for finding an applied to solving the applied question may seem a bit roundabout. You have to kind of do a bit of a roundabout going back and forth. But once you kind of figure it out, it should be very easy. If you have any questions about this question, leave it down in the comments below. If you want to see more, do subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.